Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. It's gonna have to be a two-part episode. My wife called. Actually, on my way to Disney World to meet some people. But anyway, so yeah, it's been the pancake effect with the Jets. It was from the Patriot game because the Patriots always, no matter how good or bad the Patriots are, and it looks like they might be missing out in the playoffs too. The Patriots always do something, and it just gets to the Jets' heads. You know, the punt return for the touchdown to end that game when the defense played their butt off started it. You know, when the defense actually pitches basically a perfect game, you know, it's just, you know, we have, as we've said all off season, the Jets had the tools to be a very good football team. One thing holds them back: the quarterback. You know, Robert Saleh, his apparent refusal to play Mike White, you know, the beginning of the year when Zach went down, you know, who knows what happens in those games that they, you know, lose and should have lost. And should have lost the game that they did win. It's disgusting. It's a disgrace. Team makes me sick, man. They really do. They really, really do. And honestly, this team owes their fans a big apology. They do. We are owed a big apology to this. Our fans do not deserve this. The final game at home, the final game of the calendar year, and I feel bad for anybody that went out in the cold and the rain to survive that disgrace. I really do. They braved the cold and the rain for this disgrace. And it's just, you know, just to see them look very non-existent out there. Zach Wilson finally manned up and said, "I deserve to get booed." You know, he did deserve it. He did. Man. You know, you can just add 2022 to the many collapses of the New York Jets. And it's typical. It's become it. It's just become the typical nonsense of the New York Jets. Typical. And I hate it. I hate this team. But you know what's the sad part? The sad part is, like me and many other Jet fans out there, we'll be back next year. We'll be back. Oh, and the thing that pisses me off the most is that there are people out there that said that the Jets, they made strides this year. You know, they won 7 games, you know, more than the last 2 years combined. Man, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about strides, okay? I don't want to hear that. This was a collapse season. Okay, the team collapsed. Okay, it's not like they staggered their way to 7 wins. No. What did the Jets do? They were 7-4. We went to putting the league on notice, okay? We had the league on notice. We're like, oh my God, look at these Jets. And now what do we become? Losers of the last 4. Didn't win a single game in the month of December. Pissed away games we should have won. Everything else in between, and now we're 7-8 and looking at another year without the playoffs. This was a collapse. Okay, we collapsed to a 7-8 record. Okay? We didn't alternate wins. We didn't do any of that. Okay? We collapsed. The Jets collapsed. Okay? They collapsed. And it's just, it gets you so mad. What could have been? What could have been? You know, the playoff scenarios. They have a slim chance. No, it's over. You know, they were supposed to win out, and New England could lose one, and they very much could lose. And then we would have a fighting chance. Well, they blew it. The Jacksonville, the last 2 games, they played 2 teams with less amount of wins than they are. 6-8, 6-9, whatever. And they couldn't beat them. Bottom feeding defenses. And they couldn't beat them. Jacksonville Jaguars, another hot team. Trevor Lawrence, he outclassed Zach Wilson yesterday. But Zach Wilson's been outclassed by basically everybody. October, when we were on a roll, these 4 losses in December whitewashed every good thing that happened in October. But the team was winning in spite of him. We couldn't even throw 200 yards a game. He only took command of 1 game, and that was when he came back from injury to Pittsburgh. That's it. That is the only time that this guy has come back, from the only time that this guy has played a good game. Outside of that, he could barely complete 50%. I'm sorry, watch my hair. This guy could barely complete 50% of his passes. He could barely, he throws under 200 yards. That's not a good recipe. You knew this was going to come back and get him. You knew this. But it's the typical Jets. They always do this. Anyway, that being said, it's 0 for December. It's unreal. 2 more games, basically playing out the string. We were supposed to get ready and hopefully have Miami, that final Sunday night game of the year for the playoffs. It's over, okay? It's over, okay? It was fun while it lasted, and the only thing we showed is that it's another failure year. I no consolation in the fact we were 7 wins irrelevant, because it's just not the time to. It's not the time to say it, because this was a collapse season. Among every other collapse that they've had over the years in December, and there's 2 games left. I don't want to hear it. The fact is, they collapsed. Okay, they collapsed, just like every other collapse that they've had. 93. 97, 2000, 2008, 2015. Did I miss any years? It's unreal. When they've been needed the most and they collapse. That's the Jet way. That being said, I'm gonna deuce out for now. Happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your holiday. Among everything else in between. Signing off. Thank you.